dilaksanakan secara daring. Semoga kita senantiasa selalu dalam kondisi sehat dan selalu dalam perlindungan Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Acara ini merupakan acara ajang profesor yang diselenggarakan oleh Departemen Kesehatan Lingkungan bekerja sama dengan program studi Magister Kesehatan Lingkungan Fakultas Kesehatan Masyarakat Universitas Airlangga dan Jurnal Kesehatan Lingkungan Fakultas Kesehatan Masyarakat Universitas Airlangga akreditasi Sinta 2.
Selamat datang para peserta dan selamat bergabung di acara Ajang Profesor pada pagi hari ini yang mengusung tema Mentoring Discussion 2 and Practice of Submitting Article to the Journal of Sains Malaysiana. Sebelum memulai acara, izinkan kami memperkenalkan diri lebih dahulu. Nama saya Novidian Arfiani dan rekan saya Isnaini Rahmawati. Kami mahasiswa Magister Kesehatan Lingkungan Fakultas Kesehatan Masyarakat Universitas Airlangga. Selamat pagi, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Terima kasih kepada Bapak Ibu yang telah hadir di acara Ajang Profesor pada pagi hari ini. Kepada yang terhormat Ibu Dr. Insinyur Lilis Sulistiorini MKes, Ketua Panitia dan Ketua Departemen Kesling FKM Unair, dan kepada yang terhormat Ibu Dr. R. Aziza SHMKes, KPS Magister Kesehatan Lingkungan FKM UNER, kepada yang terhormat Bapak narasumber Bapak Profesor Dr. Muhammad Talif bin Latif sebagai narasumber pada pagi hari ini dari Departemen of Earth Science and Environment Faculty of Science and Technology University Kebangsaan Malaysia. Kepada yang terhormat semua guru besar dan Bapak Ibu dosen di FKM Universitas Airlangga.
Baiklah, sebelum memulai acara, saya akan membacakan susunan acara guest lecture pada hari ini. Acara pertama yakni menyanyikan lagu Indonesia Raya. Acara kedua sambutan sekaligus pembukaan oleh Ibu Ketua Panitia Dr. Insinyur Lilis Sulistiorini MKes. Acara ketiga pemaparan materi oleh narasumber sekaligus diskusi dan tanya jawab yang dipandu oleh moderator Muhammad Azmi Ma'ruf SKM. Acara keempat yakni penyerahan sertifikat oleh Ibu Dr. Insinyur Lilis Sulistiorini kepada narasumber. Acara kelima yaitu penutup dan pembacaan doa. Untuk mengefisiensi waktu, langsung saja kita masuk pada acara pertama yakni menyanyikan lagu Indonesia Raya. Untuk yang bertugas kepada rekan kami Rialdin SKM dipersilahkan.
Memasuki agenda selanjutnya yakni sambutan, kami persilahkan kepada Ibu Ketua Panitia Dr. Insinyur Lilis Sulistiorini MKes untuk memberikan sambutan sekaligus membuka acara Ajang Profesor pada hari ini.
Terima kasih. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Pertama-tama marilah kita panjatkan puji syukur kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa taala atas izinnya pada siang hari ini kita bisa berkumpul di sini di Zoom meeting maupun YouTube untuk acara ajang profesor di Departemen Kesehatan Lingkungan. Yang saya hormati narasumber ajang profesor kita Prof. Muhammad Talib bin Latif PhD dari Universitas Kebangsaan Malaysia. Terima kasih pada Dekan FKM UNER, Bu Dr. Santi Martini, Dr. MKes, yang telah memberikan fasilitas sehingga acara rangkaian ajang profesor ini bisa terlaksana. Kemudian juga saya terima kasih kepada Dr. R. Aziza, SHMKes, KPS Magister Kesehatan Lingkungan, para profesor di Departemen Kesehatan Lingkungan khususnya, juga di Fakultas Kesehatan Masyarakat pada umumnya. Juga terima kasih pada dosen FKM UNER dan adik-adik panitia yang telah setia menemani kita, baik dari mahasiswa S2 Kesehatan Lingkungan maupun dari semester 7 program Sarjana Kesehatan Masyarakat, baik kelas Surabaya maupun Banyuwangi. Peserta yang saya hormati, pada pertemuan ke-8 ini merupakan diskusi pendampingan 2 dan praktek submit artikel ke jurnal Sains Malaysiana. Akhir kata, selamat mengikuti guest lecture atau ajang profesor saat ini. Kepada seluruh peserta, semoga apa yang kita laksanakan pada hari ini bermanfaat bagi kita khususnya dan dicatat sebagai amal baik kita semua. Amin ya rabbal alamin. Marilah kita buka acara ajang profesor pada hari ini dengan mengucapkan basmalah bersama-sama. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Akhirul kata, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Ibu Dr. Insinyur Lilis Sulistiorini atas sambutannya dan sekaligus membuka acara pada pagi hari ini. Untuk para peserta ajang profesor, agar mengisi presensi melalui link yang tersedia di room chat dan mematikan mikrofon selama pemaparan materi berlangsung. Baik, selanjutnya kita masuk ke dalam sesi yang ditunggu-tunggu, yaitu pemaparan materi sekaligus diskusi dan tanya jawab oleh narasumber, di mana nanti akan dipandu secara langsung oleh Muhammad Asmi Ma'aruf SKM, yang merupakan mahasiswa Magister Kesehatan Lingkungan FKM UNER selaku moderator. Kepada Muhammad Asmi Ma'aruf, kami persilahkan untuk langsung memandu pemaparan materi dan diskusi.
Terima kasih atas perhatiannya MC. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Perkenalkan kembali, nama saya Muhammad Asmi Ma'aruf, mahasiswa Magister Kesehatan Lingkungan FKM UNER. Pada kesempatan kali ini sebagai moderator untuk sesi diskusi kita yang kedua bersama Prof. Dr. Muhammad Talib Latif dari Department of Earth Science and Environment, Faculty of Science and Technology, University Kebangsaan Malaysia. Mungkin saya akan tunjukkan sedikit CV beliau. Oke, Profesor Dr. Muhammad Talib Latif dengan kualifikasi PhD dari East Anglia pada tahun 2006, Magister of Science di UKM 1999, dan Bachelor beliau di UKM juga pada tahun 1995 dengan H Index per November 2019 26 dengan bidang keahlian atmospheric chemistry and air pollution, surfactants and unique like substance in the atmosphere, outdoor and indoor air quality, energetic composition and atmospheric aerosols, dan juga volatile organic compounds. Selanjutnya mengingatkan kembali bagi peserta yang ingin bertanya pada saat diskusi dapat menuliskan pertanyaannya pada room chat dengan menyertakan nama dan juga asal institusinya. Selanjutnya kita berikan waktu kepada Profesor Dr. Muhammad Talib Latif untuk memimpin diskusi.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Dr. Azizah, semua dosen, pensyarah-pensyarah di Universiti Erlangga serta para pelajar sekalian. So hari ini saya akan membincangkan another papers related to journal articles already submitted to Sains Malaysiana. I think this one is article by Al-Hamdani, Dr. Azizah, Riyaldin, and Dr. Lilis, Dr. Santi Martini, and myself. So my comment about this paper, maybe after this we can comment also with another paper, including one from one of the PhD student, I think, Corey, that she already submitted to a proofreader. Maybe I can explain a little bit how you want to change the information from the Turnitin, for example, on how we want to reduce the percentage of similarity. Okay, this is the paper submitted to Sains Malaysiana. Analysis of the impact of lockdown on major important in the COVID-19 pandemic era, a literature review. I think this paper is quite a good paper, very good paper. But here, usually when people submitted paper and they write based on systematic review, they usually put systematic review compared to the literature review. So I think it's good if you submit a paper to a journal and your paper is systematic review, it's good for you to write a systematic review rather than literature review. This literature review, I think more towards thesis, but chapter 2 in thesis. Okay. Other than that, I think we can go down here. This one is very good format. They already, Al-Hamdani already put line numbers, you can see, and the paper is in double spacing. So this one is abstract. I think it's very good abstract. Start from this one, what we call as a problem statement. And this one, actually, the second one is the aim of the study. The aims of the study. There is a method. This one, the problem statement and the method, including aim of the study. And the study use, this one is a methodology. This one is methodology. And this one is a result. I think the result is very, very important. Very, very important that you include the result. And at last, if possible, this is a result. And this is conclusions. So you can see that here in the abstract, they have different sections, which are problem statement, objective, methodology, as well as result and conclusions. So this one is very good example. Maybe last time I found that one very minor mistake, for example, O3 is not a subscript, for example. That one is very, very small mistake, no problem. Second one, we actually focus on introductions. So this thing, I think this paper also has a very good introduction. Start from general, which is coronavirus disease, COVID-19. It's very general information. And after that, the paper mentioned about how this COVID-19, called SARS-CoV-2 actually, and then mention how this COVID-19 spread from China to all over the world. The only thing that I want to comment here, when you have acronym over here, acronym WHO, many people I think know about WHO, especially in your research field, public health, environmental health, but not everybody know about WHO. So it's good if this one is not a reference. I think it's good for you to write, for example, World Health Organizations. So like this. Even though many people, oh, this one is very common. You can see over here, I always use Grammarly. Grammarly very easy for me to check. Yeah. Grammarly actually is free, so you can check. So this one is good if you include full name, even though that one is very common. Very common, you can put World Health Organization, except if WHO is a reference. So if a reference, you don't have to put full name, because in your reference list, there will be what is WHO. So this one, if possible, try your best to include full name of WHO, even though the WHO name is very common. But not everybody will understand this WHO. So better for you like this one, example, this one, public health, PHEIC. But this one, you don't have to include that because this one is a reference. This one is a reference. But this one is not reference. So you need to include. And after this, when you write WHO, you don't have to include World Health Organization anymore. Include WHO, WHO only. Okay. So I think this one is quite a good paragraph. Start from very general. And after that, mention about this one in principle, how COVID-19 is transmitted. This one, what we call as leading sentence. And the third paragraph is about ambient air pollution that can cause, can exaggerate the COVID-19. This one also quite good. So in this, Alhamdulillah already mentioned about air pollution and COVID-19. This one I just want to mention about this reference. I think this reference is wrong. It should be Chen, not Chen Y. This one also Al Chen. Al Chen. Also, I think you need to improve that. This you need to make sure there is no first name, even the full name or abbreviations. It should be Chen, not Chen Y. Even though they have Chen, this one, if this one, you can include Chen and Chen actually, not Chen Y and Chen Y. Okay. And after that, because it's at all, so in down there, they will appear different Chen. So they don't have to include Chen Y and L Chen and Korea and so on. So at last, this study aims, as I mentioned, this one is very, very important. This study aims to describe the change of air quality parameters, O3 in major cities in the world. We present the percentage change. Okay. So this one is very, very good. So people will look at these aims. So this is a systematic review. So you need to write the methodology. Researcher use engine, namely Scopus and so on. And you have figure. And after that, you include the figure over here. No problem. So include figure, and figure actually has a very good title because it represents overall informations in the title. So finding of the article regarding. And then after that, start with result and discussions with this subtopic, the impact of lockdown. So in the first sentence, he already mentioned table 1. This one is very good. I've mentioned many times, you need to start with a table. So the reader can refer to your table when they read of your result and discussion. Okay. So from 22, he discussed one by one. All names actually in here actually appear in table 1. That one is very good. And then discussion, and this one is table 1. After end of the paragraph, you include the table 1. So this table 1 actually include everything related to the study, and try your best to make sure you discuss, even though you include this name in a table, make sure you discuss one by one in your result and discussions. Result and discussion, okay? So need to discuss all of this. Don't even leave one name from the discussion, even though you include this one, okay? Try your best to discuss everybody. And after that, the lockdown policy, this is explanation about this one. And at last, the percentage in figure 2. This one is figure 2. He mentioned about the percentage change in figure 2. So it's very good. So people expect that you include your table 2, figure 2 here. And here also is very good. Last time, if you remember, Alhamdulillah, put this figure in color, isn't it? Different color. But I asked him to change to the black and white. It's very easy, very clear, and very easy for the publisher to publish this paper actually. This is the result. Actually, the one thing that he mentioned here is decrease, but ozone actually is increase. Ozone is increase. So I think this one is okay, no problem. But in many cases, you don't want to make your figures quite busy. Usually, you don't have to include this title inside your figure. Just include down here, okay? But this one is okay, no problem. Don't have to include this one actually. The decrease and so on. Just mention in here. This one is enough. You have to include. Can you imagine if you reduce this one or you delete this one, your table I think much more bigger and quite clear compared to if you include A, B, C, D, E in, because this is repetitions from your figure 2. This one, for example, I think this one is percentage. Percentage of change. This one suggestion from Grammarly. And after that, he discussed one by one based on parameters. So this one is PM10. So actually, you mentioned this in figure 5. So it's good. And after that, discussion. And this one is PM10, is figure 5B, okay. And after that, this one NO2, figure 5C, you tell reader this figure 5C. And after that, SO2 concentrations, figure 5D. And after that, CO in figure 5E, okay. Figure 5E. And after that, O3 is 0. Figure 5F, figure 5F. Maybe people will ask, because it's very high, 550%. Maybe this one you need to give a quite good reason why until 525% increase in Baghdad. And after that, you have conclusions. This conclusion, it's quite a good conclusion, but I suggest, if possible, try your best to include data to support the information. Low NO2 concentration, that is low NO, this one is okay. Indicate actually what is the range of percentage change in these different cities, because that one is very important. If you submit to good journal, they usually ask you, they ask the reviewer to review, is it the conclusion, even for the review, actually supported by quantitative informations. Because this one, I can't see any quantitative information. Low, lower, higher, but no quantitative information. So it's good if you can include at least the percentage change of PM2.5, NO2, SO2, CO in different areas in cities all over the world. So it's good if you can include a percentage of it. So show that you include quantitative informations. And this one is acknowledgement as well as reference. I suggest if you want to submit to that particular journal, if possible, include reference from that particular journal. Submit to Sains Malaysiana, at least you include Sains Malaysiana reference, paper as a reference, especially for 2 years back. Means that you want to submit 2021, the paper may be published in 2021. It's good if you include paper published in 2020 and 2019. So this will improve. At the same time, actually, you try to improve the impact factor of Sains Malaysiana. Any questions?
Mungkin dari Dani ada tanggapan dulu.
Any question related to your paper? The first one, I think it's systematic review rather than literature review. I think a systematic review. Then I think the paper is good. Except a similar, very small minor mistake. But my suggestion, maybe next time you need to include quantitative evidence in your conclusion. Quantitative information in your conclusion. But I think it's very good.
Silakan Dani.
Iya Ibu, terima kasih Prof atas reviewnya. Untuk metode pencarian artikelnya, apakah harus menggunakan flow prisma, Prof?
I think that one is good already. Saya rasa method dah okey dah, tak ada masalah. original pun, abstract pun is very good, no problem. Cuma conclusion tadi sepatutnya ada masuk sedikit berkenaan dengan range of the concentrations all over the world. You boleh mention range, you boleh mention maximum value, for example. You patutnya ada sedikit information yang kuantitatif. Dan kalau you dah buat ni, sepatutnya you ada suggestion. So conclusion tu sepatutnya ada panjang sikit lah. What's your suggestions? What is the implication and suggestions? Rather than a summary. Selalunya reviewer akan beritahu your paper or your conclusion much more summary rather than a conclusion. Conclusion ni kita simpulkan, kita takrifkan apa yang kita perolehi dan selalunya kita bagi apa implication dan juga suggestions rather than a summary of our finding. Kita kena bagi satu interpretations. Apakah akibat daripada proses ni dan apakah suggestion? That one is much more important rather than a summary. So I think for me, sesiapa yang tulis paper berkenaan dengan review, it is good if we give good conclusion. Means that conclusion and after that implication and suggestion. Rather than lockdown carried out in cities, change in concentration of pollutant. And the reduced concentration of water mostly due to lower number of motor vehicles, low NO2 concentration that is usually due to lower. For this, for many researchers who are doing this kind of thing, they actually already know this. They knew already. So you should give more on implication and suggestions. Dia tahu dah. Mereka sudah tahu bila lockdown kepekatan akan rendah. Apa implikasi, apa yang kita boleh belajar daripada lockdown ni ataupun lockdown ni, apa yang kita boleh belajar? So maksudnya mungkin kalau kita kurangkan kenderaan bermotor, baras kepekatan bahan pencemar tu akan lebih rendah. So apa yang kita boleh suggest? Maybe you suggest, we need to suggest that to reduce the level of pollutant in all over the world, we need to reduce number of motor vehicles. So several policy need to be conducted to reduce number of motor vehicles, such as maybe increase number of public transport and encourage people to work from home, something like that. Otherwise, this one is very common info. Kalau jurnal yang sangat bagus, dia lihat saja as common info, dia akan reject. Dia kata, oh, this one is very common and people knew already. Paper actually want to encourage new things, what we call as novelty, new finding and so on. They don't want a very common. So in your conclusion, you should try your best to include more suggestions as well as implication and include information related to quantitative evidence. Maybe other people found that NO2 only reduced 30%, but you found, based on your literature search, this one is until 70%, for example. So this also a new things for a group of researchers who are doing this kind of thing. That one is, I think, is very important to improve your conclusions. This is one part of learning. Maybe not this paper, maybe next paper, or when you have opportunity to improve this paper, maybe you can include a little bit on the implication of this study and the suggestions to improve the condition of air quality during normal days based on our experience during the lockdown. Okay? Any other question?
Mungkin boleh discuss sebentar, Prof. Talib.
Boleh.
Ya.
Saya.
Mungkin begini, Prof. Ini kan substansinya adanya situation lockdown in the world, automatically air pollution itu di bawah baku mutu lingkungan. Jadi not dangerous for environment and for public health. It is a very good situation. Jadi udara bagus, intinya dengan mengurangi aktivitas kegiatan baik motorcycle, mobil atau industri, ini kan sebagian off begitu, sehingga informasi yang didapatkan adalah dengan adanya lockdown yang tidak ada kegiatan, mengurangi kegiatan sehingga pencemaran udara, air pollution-nya turun begitu. Nah, otomatis kan this is just information. So for conclusion, kesimpulannya mungkin Dani langsung ke ya kondisinya rendah. So dari rendah ini suggestionnya apa? Nah ini mungkin dia kebingungannya di situ karena substansinya memang this is lockdown gitu loh. Nah ini yang mereka yang Dani agak kebingungan mau memberikan suggestion. Ini kan sudah dengan adanya pandemi.
Ya betul, saya setuju. Itulah yang untuk yang ini this one is
COVID-19, maka kondisi pencemaran udaranya bagus kan gitu. Ya mungkin yang agak kesulitan dia dalam mengambil sebuah kesimpulan ataupun membahas mau suggest apa orang udaranya udah bagus gitu. Nah itu yang pemilihan substansi atau judul kali ya Prof. Mungkin harus diperhatikan juga. Bagaimana?
Saya rasa judulnya tidak ada masalah, okey. Cuma itulah yang saya nampak di conclusion yang mungkin boleh ditambah baik. Boleh ditambah baik lagi. Contohnya berikan peratusan penurunan atau percentage of reduction in your conclusion based on the different cities. And maybe after that you can mention about the ozone increase. How far the ozone increase actually, the percentage, and after that, you need to give implications and suggestion lah. Suggestion yang penting.
Berarti begini, karena mungkin kekurang telitian peneliti dalam mencari, he is looking for jurnal, kurang fokus begitu ya. Harusnya looking for jurnal itu yang ada kadarnya. Kadar CO penurunannya berapa, kadar air pollution yang lain penurunannya berapa. Mereka hanya bilang ada penurunan. Nah, penurunan berapa itu harusnya kan dibandingkan sama baku mutu environment WHO ataupun dari baku mutu lingkungan Indonesia punya standar ini. Ya mungkin bisa ditambahkan solusinya kan gini Prof ya. Untuk membuat suggestion kan harus ada fakta.
Ya. Patutnya ada fakta lah, ada
harus ada jurnal pendukung down ini dari sebelum kan gitu ya. Dari sebelum adanya Covid, misalnya 10, setelah adanya Covid jadi 5. Oh, berarti angka penurunannya menjadi 5. Mungkin itu yang perlu ditambahkan di dalam result and discussion dan akhirnya muncullah di dalam conclusion. Begitulah Prof? Ya,
sebab saya lihat dalam Rajal ni sudah ada contohnya kan. Macam PM5, dia punya range dia adalah kalau katalah kita sebut yang tertinggi sehingga 39%. PM10 boleh turun sehingga 75%. Ni NO2 boleh turun sehingga 96%. Sini sampai ke 215%. Di sini CO sampai 64% dan di sini dia boleh menaik sehingga 500%. So maybe you can include a little bit information on this information into your conclusion.
Oke, berarti tinggal menambahkan mungkin di dalam discussion-nya ditambah kemudian diangkat ke conclusion, begitu nggak Prof? Dari masing-masing
dalam sudah dibincangkan
kekurangannya, conclusion-nya.
Dalam conclusion, sudah ada sebut disebut sudah. Sudah disebut. PM10, 5 cities kan, 75% sudah disebut. Cuma dalam conclusion saja.
Yeah.
I need to tell about, I think the main conclusion is the reduction of all gases except O3. So you need to discuss a little bit, you need to give a range or the maximum level that all the gases can be reduced except for O3. So after that, you need to give a little bit suggestion on how to maintain these conditions. Also, all gases were reduced, but how to tackle the problem of ozone, for example? That one also quite important. Kalau ikut you punya perbincangan ni, ozon naik sampai 500%.
Intinya berarti bagaimana kita how we organize supaya ini stabil begitu.
Ya, supaya stabil.
Untuk supaya stabil, supaya seperti ini, tidak kembali ke sebelum COVID.
Ya, betul.
Mungkin suggestion-nya seperti itu arahnya gitu, Prof.
Ya, betul.
Oke, berarti bagaimana? Halo Dani.
Iya, Ibu.
Ya, jadi maksudnya Prof. Talib, bagaimana semua air polusi ini, pencemaran udara ini stabil begitu, tetap dalam kondisi seperti ini selama pandemi. Itu apa yang harus kita lakukan? Apakah mungkin pakai bensin yang tidak bertimbal atau program yang zero air pollution dan seterusnya. Jadi lebih ke arah kontrolnya, pengendaliannya supaya kondisi air polusinya ini seperti kondisi saat pandemi. Kondisi pencemarannya ya, bukan kondisi pandeminya ya. Kalau pandemi ya memang biarlah pandemi, tapi bagaimana kita mempertahankan kondisi pencemaran udara ini seperti pada saat pandemi. Itu yang keywordnya kayaknya seperti itu. Lebih ke arah suggestion, ke arah kontrol ya, kontrol dari pencemaran ini. Apakah industrinya itu harus bagaimana kan? Dani sudah mengidentifikasi, otomatis kalau mau mencari kontrol, kan harus kita cari sumbernya. Sumber dari pencemaran udara itu, misalnya sumbernya dari industri, dari kendaraan bermotor roda 2, dari kendaraan bermotor roda 4. Nah, sumber-sumbernya itulah yang perlu dilakukan pengendalian. Begitu Kak Prof?
Ya.
Ya. Terima kasih Prof atas pencerahannya.
Ya.
Dani sudah ada pertanyaan lagi Dani?
Ada pertanyaan lagi? Itulah untuk paper yang baik selalunya lebih baik untuk paper ni sudah baik. Untuk lebih baik sebenarnya kita sepatutnya memasukkan informasi tadi, quantitative evidence dan juga suggestions.
Oke, berarti kan kita gini Prof, dalam hal menulis ya kita kan tidak boleh, kalau bahasa Indonesia itu ujuk-ujuk ya. Ujuk-ujuk itu apa ya? Tiba-tiba. Kalau bahasa Melayu apa ya? Tiba-tiba paham ya Prof? Tiba-tiba muncul industri harus begini. Pengguna jalan harus begini, kan tidak boleh ada conclusion tiba-tiba. Otomatis kalau memang kita mau memberikan conclusion seperti itu di dalam result and discussion itu harus disampaikan sumber dari NO2 dari mana saja, sumber dari CO2 dari mana saja, sumber dari air pollution yang ada di bumi ini dari mana saja, itu harus masuk di dalam result and discussion. Kalau perlu ada di introduction, karena nanti arahnya konklusinya ke sana. Begitu Kak Prof, boleh?
Boleh.
Ya, karena kan tidak jadi aneh nanti kalau misalnya konklusinya ke pengendalian, ke industri, ke gitu ya Prof, biar ada konsistensi dari depan sampai belakang.
Betul.
Ya, Dani begitu ya Dani? Halo Dani.
Iya, Ibu.
Tambahkan sumber-sumber pencemaran udara dari mana saja, dari industri, dan itu berbasis data dari jurnal artikel orang lain. Begitu ya? Oke, saya rasa sudah jelas, Prof. Alhamdulillah, terima kasih. Saya kembalikan ke moderator, Mas Asmi, silakan.
Baik, Bu. We'll move on to the questions from the chat room. There's one question, Prof, from Haryo Megasari. Prof. Salib, can you re-explain what is the difference between literature review and systematic review?
Review.
Yeah, between literature and systematic review.
I think for the review that we normally mention, first systematic review where we put methodology in our manuscript methodology, and we mention where we get all the manuscript and how we get the manuscript from different research engine, and after that how we filter the paper is suitable or not, and after that we try to find the suitable paper with data, and after that we include our data, the paper into our table, and then if the data is good, we can reanalyze the data. That one what we call as meta-analysis. That one is systematic review. But the other review, usually we mention as a critical review or normal review. That one we don't have to include methodology. But for literature review, usually we use in our thesis, where we review all the literature without any systematic or detailed information on the paper. We just include everything. That one is a literature review, not a systematic review. Means that in literature review, we can include everything from literature, including from newspaper, from books, from magazine, from internet information. That one what we call a literature review. The one that what Dani did actually is a systematic review. He only used a manuscript or journal article. Means that journal article usually the data is good because this data already reviewed by other researchers. That's why we call it systematic review. For scientific community, systematic review much more better compared to a critical review or literature review, because in systematic review, the data actually already reviewed by others. Review by others is very, very important in scientific community. You can see, contohnya sekarang ni kita ada satu company di USA yang telah menjumpai vaksin untuk COVID-19, tetapi dia tidak boleh diguna lagi sebab dia belum publish hasil kajian tersebut, hasil vaksin tersebut yang diperolehi dalam scientific journal untuk di-review. Even though they already test and 95% of the test to show as good sign, tapi belum di-publish lagi, belum di-review oleh pakar dalam scientific committee. That one is still in science, is still means that still not good enough. Walaupun benda tu telah jadi satu benda yang bagus, tapi dalam scientific review, dalam science, the result from all the experiment, berapa ribu orang dia dah test, apa dia punya bahan-bahan tu, sepatutnya mesti diterbitkan dahulu, barulah dia anggap vaksin itu boleh diguna baik dari segi saintifik. Sama juga macam contohnya kalau di tempat saya people from botanis, dia menjumpai satu spesies pokok Walaupun dia rasa pokok itu adalah dia yang pertama jumpa dan pokok itu berlainan daripada pokok spesies yang hampir sama dengan sebelum ini, tetapi dia tidak boleh namakan pokok itu dan anggap pokok itu adalah pokok yang dia yang jumpa. Dia kena publish dulu dalam jurnal, show that okay, terangkan pokok itu begini rupanya, mungkin daunnya berbeza sikit dengan yang lain, dia punya akar lain, dia punya dia punya biji benihnya dan sebagainya lain daripada yang sebelumnya. Barulah pokok itu dinamakan satu pokok yang baru yang boleh dinamakan dengan nama saintifiknya. Maksud dia kena publish dulu, dan bila paper tersebut telah di-accept ataupun telah diterima oleh scientific community, so say okay, this plant actually is a new plant, new species. Nobody actually found this plant in this country or this region before this. So this plant actually different from similar plant before that people found before. Then that plant can be named as a new species. Sama juga dengan dalam scientific community ni, kita kena review dulu. That one is what we call a systematic review. So saya harap saya menjawab lah. Kalau review yang biasa, you can include everything. That one what we call a critical review. Selalunya reference adalah jurnal. Tapi kalau literature review, you can include everything, even from the magazine, books, newspaper, and so on. But systematic review need to use proper article, proper journal article, data yang telah di review oleh other researchers.
Oke, jadi mungkin kalau melihat dari pertanyaan saya bisa simpulkan untuk literature review sendiri, mungkin kalau di bahasa Indonesia kami menyebutnya tinjauan pustaka, di mana semua bahan yang kita dapat kita masukkan sesuai urutan dari topik-topik yang kita mau. Sedangkan systematic review, kita memperdalam sebuah data yang sudah ditampilkan oleh orang lain untuk kita perdalam lagi penyebab-penyebabnya.
Ya, saya setuju.
Oke. Mungkin ada peserta yang lain yang hendak bertanya, dipersilakan.
Ada tak komen lain?
Kalau tidak ada, ini langsung ke kesimpulan aja ya, Bu Azizah.
Saya boleh tunjukkan paper lain kalau
oh iya,
Boleh?
please go ahead.
Boleh, Prof.
Ya, mungkin saya tunjukkan paper Corey tadi yang dia sudah hantar ke ni. Kalau dia ada kat sini lagi bagus. Dia
ada.
Boleh tak Corey?
Ibu Corey?
Corey ada?
Ada. Ini ada di
boleh Prof, tapi Prof yang share screen atau?
Biar saya yang share. I just want to show you.
Iya. Boleh Prof. Boleh Prof, please.
I just want to show you how you can improve your paper. Okay. How you can improve after they give you comment from Turnitin or from the any similarity software. Plagiarism checking, nampak tak sini? Nampak tak? Semua orang nampak?
Nampak, Prof.
Okey, nampak. Kalau kita lihat di sini, it's very good paper. I already read many times. I think it's very good. Di sini, if you check using Turnitin, or you submit to proofreader, sometimes proofreader can check. But you can see over here, the similarity of percentage is 30%. That one is quite it's okay. But usually, many journal want you to write below than 30%. Apa yang perlu kita buat? You can see over here kan, kalau kita tengok report ni, report dia di sini ya, report dia ni. you can go to the report, to the paper. Ya, report. Semua ada report. Apa yang kita ambil. 30% is still okay, but this one is like 50-50. Many journals they found that 50%, 30%, they thought that this one is not suitable for publications. But sometimes, because this is a very rough, they don't know about our paper, they also include, for example, our reference as well as our title. So, bagi saya 30% ni okay lah kalau jurnal sudah tunjuk. Sebab dia termasuk juga reference. Dan kadang-kadang termasuk include our title. So what we want to do if we get this kind of thing, tonton di sini di sini ada juga nombor 32. 32. Boleh tak saya buka gunanya? Tak apalah, saya tunjuk kat sini lah. Okay. This one is abstract. For me, abstract is okay. For the student, I also want to tell you that this one from, you can see this one from the problem statement, this research aims, and after that we have methodology over here, and after that we get the result. This one methodology, as well as the result, the data, and after that conclusions. I already showed you before, this study suggests that the periodic monitoring of indoor air quality is an effective measure. It's good. So I think if the editor look at this paper, they will consider for review. Because they found that the paper actually has a problem statement. They have aims, they have methodology, and the more important thing, they look, they have data actually. Data in the abstract as well as a conclusion or suggestions. Usually, I mentioned to you before this, when we submit a paper, we don't want straight away the paper is published or the paper is accepted. We want, if possible, the editor give us chance to submit this paper to a reviewer for our paper to be reviewed. Ini maksud dia kita punya step by step. Bila kita submit paper, kita tidak boleh kata, saya submit hari ini, besok dia akan terima. Tidak. Ataupun mula-mula kita katakan, saya hantar paper ni, minggu depan dia akan publish. Tidak. Ataupun minggu depan dia akan accept. Tidak. Sebenarnya kita hanya berharap ataupun berdoa supaya paper ini diterima untuk direview. Untuk direview dulu. Itu first step. Kalau good journal tu kita harap, bila saya submit paper, saya doa supaya paper saya ni di-review. Diberi chance untuk review. Bukan untuk accept lagi. Maksud dia kita fokus step by step. Okay, this one I think is an introduction. As I mentioned, introduction, usually we start with very common or general things. This one is about indoor environment. I just want to tell you about the similarity. I need to check a little bit. If you think that this one is, for example, the indoor environment has become important soil health risk factor. I think for the first sentence, okay, no problem. The second sentence also okay. But this one, you need to be careful a little bit. This is more severe along familiars, okay. This one is no problem. But the one that number 10, indoor air quality is affected by several aspects the indoor and outdoor environment. This one, it seemed that if the editor checked the similarity, it seemed that you took from number 10. Number 10, you can see number 10 reference. So try your best to change a little bit this sentence, okay? Indoor air quality is affected by several aspects of indoor and outdoor environment. How you want to change this? Indoor air quality is affected by several aspects from indoor and outdoor environment. Maybe you can just put dot over here, stop over here. The factors, maybe you can put the factors that affect the indoor environment, including, you include new sentence, the factor that can affect the indoor environment, including ventilation. This one, maybe you can try to look properly and try to change a little bit and try to manage this sentence, so the flow or the structure of this sentence not exactly follow the real sentence. Mungkin kita boleh ubah sikit di sini. Di sini mula-mula beritahu ventilation system. Mungkin kita boleh ubah including the structure of dwelling, letak sini ventilation system, letak sini cooking, kan, lighting and heating, for example, and this one. So kita cuba ubah sentence tu supaya bila dia buat macam ni, sebenarnya bila ditunjuk begini, ia seolah-olah satu yang sama, word by word. Jadi kita boleh terbalikkan yang depan letak ke belakang as long as tidak merubah maksud paper tersebut. Faham tak? Kalau kita kita cuba ubah yang, sebab apa? Dia hanya faktor. Kalau kita masukkan cigarette smoke awal, kan, tidak ada masalah. Itu bila yang saya buatlah. Bila saya nampak yang macam ni, sebab yang ni agak bahaya. Ini macam word by word. Kalau kita tiru orang punya cakap, kan, kita ingat dulu ada satu speech yang betul-betul tiru dari seseorang, kan? When I was a little girl, siapa ingatlah, Melanie Trump ada bagi ceramah, ada bagi talk mula-mula. When I was a little girl, rupanya speech tu sama dengan Michelle Obama. When I was a little girl, my mother, always sama. Maksud dia sama juga di sini. Similarity is word by word. So you can change. You boleh terbalikkan ke depan, ke belakang, as long as tidak merubah ayat tersebut. Ini maksud dia sama, word to words. When I was, my mother, sama. Kalau you cakap my father, dah tak sama dah. When I was a little girl, my father. Dia cakap my mother, you cakap my father. That one dah tak sama. Okay? My grandfather, sama juga macam ni. Padahal maksud dia sama macam tu. Faham, jadi kalau ayat yang sebegini, VOC are important indoor air pollutant produced by evaporation at room temperature. Maybe you can change a little bit. VOCs are important. Mungkin tak perlu sebut kat sini. VOCs are important indoor air pollutant. VOCs are important indoor air pollutant that generated by evaporations at room temperature, kan, of, you can mention wood dulu, paint kemudian, kan, cleaning agent dulu, macam tu. You cuba, mungkin you boleh buang satu dan sebagainya. Kalau you buat macam ni, ini sebenarnya sama dengan nombor 14. That's the way for you to change a little bit, so the similarity will be different. Sama juga VOC emitted in indoor in university classroom facilitated by the human occupant. You cuba little bit ubah sedikit ayat ni. Nanti dia, kalau you ubah, maksud dia tidak akan sama word by word. Jadi yang mana yang 1:17 contohnya yang sama, mungkin you boleh ubah sedikit, to make sure it's not word by word. Selalunya yang banyak sama ni ialah di introductions. Because people sometimes cut and paste. That's what we call as cut and paste, and this one. Maybe you can change a little bit. Contohnya macam ni, kan, electronic cigarette. You cuba ubah depan ke belakang, depan ke belakang. Itu yang saya rasa saya masukkanlah. Macam di sini tidak ada masalah sangat. Yang tadi, yang satu ayat satu tu yang perlu diubah sedikit ke depan dan ke belakang. So bila kita ubah dia akan berbeza. Yang lain tu saya rasa tidak ada masalah. Macam yang ni kalau we design, maybe you can study design something like that lah. Sebab dia kata sama dengan 16. Yang lain saya rasa tidak ada masalah sangatlah. Dia tidak sama satu ayat. Yang introduction tadi saya rasa perlu diubah sedikit. Dalam result, I don't think dah banyak sini, ini tak ada masalah. Kecuali kalau ada yang terlampau banyak macam ni lah. Pemadahat concentration in polluted house range from this and this. Kalau macam ni mungkin you boleh cuba pemadahat concentration in the polluted houses range from, you cuba titik dekat sini. The highest value was 59 times. So kat sini boleh di stop. The highest value more than the standard value suggested by siapa. Kan? Jadi dia tak sama word by word. Yang lain saya rasa tidak ada masalah. Paper ni mungkin boleh sudah boleh dihantarlah. Maksud dia di sini conclusion pun it has been suggested. This one ada conclusion. The study has suggested that periodic monitoring indoor air quality and reduction of indoor pollution are both effective measures that can undertaken by prevent respiratory allergies. However, further research. Now, this one is good. At least you give suggestions. Okay, I don't think other things. I just want to highlight the similarity on how you can change the similarity. Yeah? It means that if you don't have Turnitin, when you get information from other article, don't put it word by word that's similar with the article that you took the sentence. Kadang-kadang kita tak perasan, kita cut and paste. Cara saya masa saya buat PhD dulu, saya buat begini. Selalunya kalau saya ambil betul-betul ada satu ayat tu daripada artikel orang lain, saya masuk ke thesis saya dalam literature review ataupun introduction, saya akan color merah. Maknanya that one is dangerous. Kalau saya sudah ubah sedikit, tapi saya tidak puas hati, saya rasa masih lagi ayat tu datang daripada orang lain, saya selalunya akan colorkan dia hijau. Lepas tu bila ayat tu hampir sesuai dengan hati saya dan saya rasa almost mine, saya tanda kuning. Bila ayat tu sudah memang daripada saya akan buang semua color. Means that kalau saya ambil betul-betul daripada orang lain, saya ambil paper, saya ambil daripada orang lain, saya akan color by red. That one is dangerous. Red, in my thesis last time, I have many colors. Sometimes kalau student saya pun saya baca, selalunya dia akan tanya saya, kalau student baru dia akan tanya, Prof, kenapa banyak color? Saya color maksud dia saya nak, I remind myself, this one red is dangerous. Green, a little bit change. Yellow, almost okay. No color is good. Means like that. I usually color my to remind myself. Means that I don't want my thesis, if I check by using Turnitin, it has similarity more than 30%, for example. That one is not good. So that's my explanation about the Corey paper. I think the others is good. Just to check, this one 30%, I think this 50-50, it's quite dangerous. But I think it's okay. Make sure your paper actually is below than 30%. Below than 30%. So you can check. If you click here in your PDF, it's automatically we go to the journal article. So you can see the sentence is similar. So make sure the sentence is not similar by change the information. For example, listed materials, which can change. The one that you put at the end, maybe you can put it at first, for example, or in the middle, something like that. Ada soalan tak?
Siap, Prof.
Ya, tanggapan Bu Kori?
Insya Allah dicoba, Prof. I try to revise and then I will send it back to you. Thank you.
That's the only way lah yang selalunya saya buat lah. Saya pun ada juga kena di paper saya dipulangkan semula disebabkan oleh similarity. Ada. Saya pun kadang-kadang terperanjat bila dipulangkan sebab similarity. Selalunya yang paper saya dipulangkan sebabkan similarity ni ialah tulisan paper berkenaan dengan review paper. Sebab selalunya kadang-kadang saya bila buat review paper, saya selalunya akan bernulis secara berkumpulan. Katalah saya ada 5 orang, saya kata okey, saya buat introduction, my student maybe buat second section, the third student buat yang 4 section, yang 5 section. Saya akan bagikan macam tu. Lepas tu kami akan baca balik dan saya akan baca balik dan cuba baiki flow. Tapi ini pun masih lagi tidak dapat memperbaiki similarity. Jadi kadang-kadang saya hantar ke jurnal, saya sudah buat proofreading, suddenly saya dapat get back information from journal. They said, oh, your paper has more than 30% similarity. So try your best to reduce. I think saya bersyukur lah sebab dia tak reject terus. At least they gave me chance. Then I try my best to change a little bit. I try to go to the Turnitin and try to look at my paper and change a little bit. Saya buat macam tu lah. Selalunya saya akan buat begitu. Saya akan tukar-tukar sikit. Saya akan, as long as dia tidak merubah maksud dalam bahasa Inggeris. Sebab I think if I want to change my English, I already send to proofreader. That one is also not good because nanti saya akan merosakkan paper saya yang telah dibaca oleh proofreader kan. Benda tu bukannya murah, mahal. Jadi saya cuba ubah sedikit berkenaan dengan my words, wording dalam ayat-ayat saya tersebut. Itu yang saya nak maklumkanlah kepada sesiapa yang telah baca dan kepada student saya nak ingatkan, you cannot cut and paste word by words. Plagiarism ni sebenarnya agak satu isu yang besar lah kan. Kalau boleh kita cuba kurangkan similarity. Kadang-kadang kita tidak perasan. Kita bukannya nak meniru secara terus. Kita tidak perasan dan kita ambil ayat tu hampir sama daripada orang lain. Ada soalan?
Mungkin ada dari kolom chat dari Ibu Muji Sulistiawati.
Ya.
She gives 2 questions. Yang pertama, apakah implikasi or suggestion sudah bisa disinggung dalam bab discussion sehingga tidak tiba-tiba muncul di conclusion? So should we put a bit of suggestion in the discussion part before we go to conclusion?
Saya setuju dengan Dr. Azizah tadi. Kalau boleh kita mention a little bit in our result discussion. Apa kita bincang dalam result discussion, kalau boleh kita sudah tunjukkan atau hint sedikit dalam kita punya introduction. Dan dalam result discussion kita bincangkan apa yang telah ada, apakah yang kita punya suggestion. Contohnya masa COVID-19, suddenly the concentration of gases are lower. So maybe we already include information in our result. Mention this, maybe this is probably due to the reduction number of motor vehicles. So dalam conclusion kita masuk lagi sekali. Macam Dr. Azizah kata tadi lah, tidak mahu cara tiba-tiba kan kita masukkan dalam conclusion. Contohnya kadang-kadang orang buat tentang polyaromatic hydrocarbon dalam sediment, dalam laut. Tiba-tiba dalam conclusion dia sebut this PAH probably come from the city center. Orang macam terperanjat kan?
Ya.
Buat PAH dalam sediment. Macam mana boleh datang dari city center? Kan?
Yeah.
Kalau dalam result you sudah explain a little bit. This may be because of the runoff water kan? Runoff water ni air yang mengalir di bandar tu. Bila hujan lebat masuk dalam parit kita panggil monsoon drain. Lepas tu dia masuk ke dalam sungai. Lepas tu dia masuk ke dalam river masuk pergi ke estuary. Lepas tu dia termendap di situ as a sediment. Kita boleh terangkan dulu dalam kita punya result, means that oh, this is maybe because of the domestic activities and run of water going to the river going to the estuary, and after that this pH with sedimented, termendap dia sediment, jadi sedimen di kawasan estuary dalam laut. Maksud kita sudah terang. Dari masa conclusion kita boleh katakan urbanization process can influence the conversion of pH in the sediment from the city center. Kita sudah sebut dalam kita punya result discussion, and dalam conclusion kita boleh masukkan begitu. Jangan tadi tiba-tiba kita kata dalam conclusion pH datang daripada bandar. Orang pun kata macam mana? Ada kadang-kadang saya baca thesis kan, dia buat dalam laut, tiba-tiba dia kata ini mungkin datang daripada bandar dalam conclusion. Orang tertanya-tanya macam mana? Kalau orang yang tidak biasa, dia kata macam mana seni pH dalam sedimen, dalam laut, datang dari bandar.
Okay.
So, it's very hard kan? Very hard to people to imagine. Macam mana dia lari-lari masuk bandar, masuk laut terus pergi ke sedimen. Tidak. Dia ada proses dia. Proses yang kita discuss dalam kita punya result discussion. Kalau boleh kita tunjukkan sedikit informasi ni dalam kita punya introduction lagi. Jadi flow tu ada informasi daripada introduction toward result discussion to conclusion. That's why sometimes it's good to write introduction after we finish to write our result discussion. Sebenarnya lah. Maksudnya kita, kalau tidak nanti, tidak ada hint. Kalau orang baca thesis, baca paper, dia akan baca result discussion dan dia teringat, tadi dari di introduction tidak disebut langsung. Kalau reviewer dia mungkin kata, you should include this information in your introduction. Kalau you cakap pasal health impact, you cakap pasal health impact of certain pollutant, you should hint a little bit the information in your introduction. You sudah hint sikit. Katalah you buat satu pH tadi, polyaromatic hydrocarbon dalam air, kan? Jadi you ada result, you ada PM2.5, PAH, lepas tu you buatkan health impact. Sepatutnya di atas you sudah mention about air pollution, you mention about PAH, and in PM2.5, and you already include information related to the impact of PAH on health. Yang orang lain sudah buat. Jadi bila you bincang di bawah, bila orang lain baca, dia tadi dia sudah cakap, betul. Dia sudah hint sedikit. Jadi dalam conclusion pun you boleh mention again the implication of PAH to health. So the flow tu, itu maksud saya, the flow of information, story information. Memang susah nak faham. Saya faham kalau pelajar memang agak susah nak faham. Saya sendiri pun masa saya belajar PhD tu saya tak faham bila supervisor saya cakap story. Tapi bila saya menulis banyak, baru saya faham the story of the information, the flow of information. So in your introduction, you don't have to include everything related to air pollution. Ini kita panggilkan textbook info. Focus on what we want to do, and after that, focus on what we include into our result discussion, and only focus on information that we want to answer our objective. Dah, tak perlu masukkan very general, too general information. Dan akhirnya semua-semuanya dijawab dalam conclusion. Conclusion tu tadi bukan sahaja summary, you need to give implication and suggestions to show that your paper is different from other research paper yang lain-lain. Boleh faham?
Okay. She also has the second question. Is it possible to take systematic review, to make systematic review from qualitative data?
Yeah, sure. That one what we call as a systematic review and meta-analysis. We can get our data. This day, I think many papers include data in brief dalam dia punya supplementary. So you can get the data and then you can review the paper. Means that you can compare maybe the data from coming from China. You have data from Singapore. You have data from Malaysia, Indonesia. You can compare. You can do analysis. You can do statistical analysis. You can determine the difference. You can do correlation. That one is what we call meta-analysis for a paper. Means that you can add to your systematic review, become systematic review and meta-analysis.
She asked about if she gets a qualitative paper, means there's no statistic.
Yeah, qualitative paper is okay. Qualitative to take systematic review from qualitative data is okay. But that one is if you do further statistical analysis, that one is what we call meta-analysis.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor. Ada pertanyaan lain?
Ada pertanyaan lain? Ada pertanyaan lain tak?
Dari Bu Lilis?
Silakan lainnya yang mau bertanya.
Kalau yang mau bertanya?
Boleh.
Agak-agaknya sudah boleh tulis paper tak?
Iya.
Saya rasa semua orang sudah boleh tulis paper yang bagus kot.
Ya. Insya Allah Prof, ini masih menyiapkan adik-adik ini. Siswa sama dosen-dosen muda. Karena memang sekarang itu saatnya mereka lah harus menulis. Yang bakalar itu skripsi istilahnya di sini. Dia harus mulai menulis untuk syarat kelulusan. Membuat paper, membuat skripsi yang S1, tesis yang master program.
Oke.
Lagi proses, insya Allah nanti bertambah Prof. Memang lagi disiapkan semua.
Ya, boleh bekerja sama dengan saya kalau ni. Saya sebenarnya banyak orang yang menghantar paper kepada saya.
Ya.
Saya baca dan untuk saya komen dan sebagainya lah. Termasuklah daripada Iran kadang-kadang, daripada sebab tu yang saya ada jaringan sebenarnya. Selain daripada saya pergi ke conference and then I make friend, I also involved with society, example IGAC in my research field lah. Ada IGAC International Global Atmospheric Chemistry and SOLAS, Surface Ocean Lower Atmosphere Study. So I went for conference. They called me for conference, so I went there. I tried to mix with others. Some of them become my good friend. And then after that, maybe they want to write paper together. They'll submit me as I read and give my comment. I don't mention. I just mention I want to do research together with them.
Oh, alhamdulillah.
I said, when we want to write paper together, that's all. That's I think it's a good friend. It's a good researcher. We can work together and then give a comment to each other. Sometimes I also work with other researchers that I also give them my paper for them to read my paper and to give me their good comment. That's all. But these days, so many people actually send their paper to me. So I usually welcome if the paper is I understand the paper in my research field. So I welcome them. So I want to show you one paper. One paper from this one is I think from quite good researchers from India. I just know him based on my social media like Twitter, Facebook, and so on. And after that, we met in the conference. Sometimes we become good friends. And I'm happy to read if they want me to read, because I think if for you to write, sometimes you become a lecturer. For you to write is very hard, isn't it? To write paper is very hard sometimes. But to read and to give comments, not as hard as to write a paper. So when I get this opportunity, I try my best to give comment to my friend, my new friend or my old friend, to give comment, and I just mention we can work together. I not mention that you need to put my name. No. I just said okay, we can work together. If you think that my contribution is good, So I let them to put my name. If not, it's okay. I just give my free comment to them. So I have many friends I mentioned from Middle East, from India, as well as from European country, from Germany, from USA, and so on. Sometimes they want me to share data. Sometimes they want me to share my comment because they write something related to Southeast Asia. So this is example, Dr. Balram. I just met him in one conference, I think. After that, we communicate sometimes in Facebook and so on. And he said, "Could you please read my paper?" I said, "Okay, no problem. I can read." So this is my comment to him. He's a very good researcher. He write an abstract. Atmospheric, you can see over here my comment. Atmospheric PM 2.5 size particulate matter were analyzed winter and summer. Let's start with the aims of the study in East India. I just want my comment here. First of my comment is PAH. Yeah, you are PAH researcher. Even though you already include PAH in your title, but here in the abstract you need to include full name of PAH. So this is a rule. First time you include everything in abstract, your acronym. Don't assume people know that. You need to include, even though you are expert on that. Even though you already include into this in your title, you need to include. Atmospheric PM2.5 particulate associated were analyzed winter and summer season. Okay, he don't put problem statement. It's okay. This one is aim. Sometimes I mentioned, sometimes journal actually limit number of words. If the journal limit number of words, the best way for you is to remove your problem statement. Start from aims. But here you still need to put full name, okay? Full name of PH. And the PM 2.5 concentration was found higher than I suggest please include your methodology. Suddenly you mentioned the PM 2.5 concentration was higher by National Ambient Air Quality Standard value. So this one also, this National Ambient Air Quality Standard, you mentioned, when he mentioned Ambient Air Quality Standard, people want to know which nationality, isn't it? America mentioned national, India mentioned national, China also national. So this one, which national? So you need to include maybe Indian Ambient Air Quality Standard or American National Air Quality Standards. Even though most of the time when people mention National Ambient Air Quality Standard, actually it's belong to the first one, actually USA. You need to include the journal, the standard, okay? Because Malaysia also mentioned national. Singapore maybe mentioned national. So United States National Ambient Air Quality Standard, for example. Even though if people doing this kind of thing, they know even mention NAAQ is American National Air Quality Standard. But please, I mentioned please include methodology. Suddenly the PM10 concentration, okay. And after that, he mentioned the results show total average concentration of PAH were found this one over ADP, SKI, MGO. I again tell him what is ADP, what is SKI, and what of MGO. Actually, if he include his methodology, he for sure already include what is ADP, SKI, MCO, isn't it? MGO means that he need to include this study conducted at 3 different stations, which are ADP. ADP is what? ADP maybe did this. SKI maybe did this, and MGO this is this. And after that, when he mentioned the result, people already know ADP is what, SKI is what, MGO is what. For reader, actually, they don't even care where you conduct the study. They even care. They don't even care ADP, SKI, MGO. They care what is the main knowledge that they get. Okay. Even though if you mention over different stations, okay. ADP, SKI, MGO is confuse people. You know, oh, I know ADP, my site in India, but I don't. For reader, for me in Malaysia, I don't know what is ADP. SKI. Maybe I can put, for example, Kuala Lumpur. This study conducted in KL. Yeah, and people in my country know KL is Kuala Lumpur. People in Indonesia maybe know KL is Kuala Lumpur. But if I send my paper to for people in America, for example, in America, for example, we don't know actually what is KL. What is KL? Sorry. In KL. So you need to include everything. Okay, these are the area. And diagnostic ratio analysis revealed that the source of PM2.5 link pH were petrogenic. Petrogenic coal combustion and vehicular emissions were main source of emission. Backward trajectories model and the fire count were also used. I suggest that these people include result actually, rather than diagnostic ratio analysis revealed that the source of PM2.5 link pH were petrogenic. What is this? So you need to include the ratio, isn't it? Petrogenic coal combustion and vehicular emission were main source of emissions. So this one also don't have result, isn't it? Here they have result, but here don't have any result. So need to include what is the ratios and what is the sources of emission. So this is abstract. Any comment?
Ada yang hendak bertanya atau berkomentar?
Ada komen tak? Boleh faham tak ni yang saya cakap tadi, diagnostic ratios, analysis reveal that the source of PM2.5 were petrogenic. This one need to have data. Diagnostic ratio analysis reveal petrogenic coal combustion and vehicular emission were the main sources emissions. So if you include diagnostic ratio over here, you need to include what is the ratio is all about. Okay, and pyrogenic, you need to include what's the percentage. And this is my comment about introduction. Introduction, actually, in the few decades, air pollution become major pollutant global platform. Particulate matter size is linked. This one is very common information. This guy actually should include latest reference or the references in the study. You see, this one is very common. pH in PM2.5, but unfortunately, he not include reference. So need to include references here. And I mentioned, and this one, for example, particulate having great absorbing ability by providing large surface area and deposit into including pH. This one is very important thing, pH, but his reference is 1989. How many years? 30 years ago, isn't it?
31, yeah.
31 years ago. So I suggest include latest reference. This one no references, but this one also very old reference. Maybe the reviewer is very young, 30 years old. It's I'm not even born that time, so, for example. So you need to include latest reference, okay? Try your best to make sure the reference actually a latest reference. This one's okay, good, 2020, but many actually is a very old reference. So include new reference. Also, like this, I mentioned, include latest reference. Include latest reference. And about the material and meta study area, I mentioned here, you need to mention the study area. You need to include the study areas over here. Study areas, and then after that, put the sampling procedures here. Sampling procedures to separate. Don't put study area and sampling. That one is not good. This one also about the sample. I don't think it's a problem. When you first mention this acronym, for example, you need to put full name. And spatial temporal or PM5 assisted with PH. This one, I suggest I change a little bit the paper because I want him to include. He also mentioned discuss first without mention the table. Without mention the table. So I asked him to include the information about table in the first paragraph of his paper. Before that, table 1 is here. He include something about data without any information. Can you imagine? You mentioned about this one, the concentration of air associated with pH, winter, but without any information. So and then after that, he mentioned about the table 1. So I asked him to transfer the table 1 into the upper part of the paper, first part of the discussions. And this one also, this is about the ratio. He mentioned about the ratio without any reference to table or figure. The ratio PI were used to deliver this. The ratio is this. This one is less than 1. But where is the data? So I said, and at last he mentioned about figure 4. So that's why I mentioned you need to mention your figure first. Okay, it's good if you summarize the table and put the data into a table or in figure and then discuss about this. Otherwise, he discuss about the things. This is just like a literature review without any informations. And at last, he mentioned about figure 4. No discussions because already go to backward trajectory. So he actually want to mention about the different ratio used in the study. Actually, this one can be included into his introduction. And then the most important thing, he need to discuss on the result in figure 4. But this one is very small information. The ratio over 3 plotted in figure 4. And that indicated pathogenic. Very only 1 or 2 sentences discuss about the data. All others is about the different ratios used in his study. Discussion over here is very limited. Very limited. And this is backward trajectory, but and this is about the health. Health actually, this is about methodology about the health. Yes, you can include if that one is. I suggest you include everything in your methodology. But if you think that one is, if you think the information is not very important, you also can include your information on methodology into your result and discussion before your discussion. Like him, he mentioned about this. But the most important thing, people want to know about the discussions. The discussion about the result. This one is very important. So if you already include everything, this one is methodology. So easy for you in this result discussion, you only focus on your result. So all this actually is a methodology, but the discussion is very short. There is a value. This is only this one. This is only discussions. Because all of this, the other part actually is a methodology, the method. So it's good if you can include your methodology, your information about how you calculate and everything into your methodology. Otherwise, the reviewer will see, oh, the discussion is very short. This value, oh, we know the value. The outcome presented at the risk level was tolerable. No discussion, no comparison. And again, this one is the conclusion. The result. The conclusion. He mentioned about the result, everything, but without any suggestions. This is, in many cases, in my paper I write like this. I get review information. You include all the data. This is a summary, not a conclusion. Conclusion you need to give. I mentioned over here to him, include potential impact and suggestion into your conclusions. Otherwise, I'm afraid it is more towards summary, not a conclusions. So the comment that I give to my friend on how to improve the paper, and he said, "Oh, thank you very much. You improved my paper." I also, when I first came back from UK for my PhD, I also sent my paper to several professors who want to read my paper at the time. I remember one professor, Prof. Nohayati, a very good professor from University Malaysia Terengganu at the time, east coast of Peninsula Malaysia. She always willing to help me to read my paper at the time, and she gave me a lot of comment. If I give a paper, she want me to print first and then send by post to her at the time. And after that, she will read the paper, and after that give me a very comprehensive comment with red pen, and after that send it back to me. Because it's quite senior, he want me to print and then send him a hard copy, not email. He said, oh, I need to print and so on. So give me a hard copy, and I will give my comment. And when she came to Kuala Lumpur, usually she will brought my paper along with her, and then after that call me, Talib, come on, I want to explain how to improve your paper. That's a process. That's a process on how you can improve your work. Actually, science I mentioned before, developed by criticism. When you improve yourself, you try your best to improve your manuscript from time to time, and then your capability, your experience will improve from time to time. That's my my suggestions. Any questions?
Maybe there's no more questions. Ada yang hendak bertanya? Jikalau tidak ada, akan saya simpulkan untuk beberapa poin dari diskusi kita hari ini. Oke, untuk poin yang pertama terkait dalam kita melakukan publikasi ilmiah, hendaknya kita lebih mengutamakan untuk membuat systematic review dibandingkan literature review, karena untuk penggunaan systematic review, isi yang akan kita dapat akan lebih mendalam dibandingkan literature review. Selanjutnya adalah perhatikan singkatan, usahakan singkatan-singkatan penting disebutkan di bagian abstrak terlebih dulu, atau di bagian introduction awal. Untuk bagian result and discussion, dimulai dengan mencantumkan informasi tersebut tidak dapat kita dapat dibaca melalui tabel atau figure tertentu terlebih dulu sebelum kita masuk ke hasil dan pembahasannya tersendiri. Diskusikan hasil satu persatu, jangan sampai ada yang terlewat. Selanjutnya juga tampilkan informasi-informasi kuantitatif untuk mendukung diskusi kita. Dan untuk bagian kesimpulan, kesimpulan seharusnya
memberi saran yang mendalam atau implikasi yang sehingga kesimpulan kita tidak hanya memperpendek isi dari artikel kita, melainkan kita memberikan keterbaruan, kita memberikan saran seperti itu. Dan yang terakhir tentang cara melakukan pengambilan atau jikalau kita ingin mengambil sebuah paragraf dari sebuah jurnal, kita harus memperhatikan pola kalimat kita dan juga penempatan beberapa kata sehingga tidak terjadi yang namanya similarity check atau plagiarism. Kiranya itu yang bisa saya simpulkan. Saya selaku moderator mengucapkan terima kasih atas partisipasi peserta dan mohon maaf jika selama berlangsungnya diskusi tadi terdapat kesalahan baik tingkah laku atau tutur kata yang disengaja maupun tidak sengaja. Selanjutnya kembali pada MC.
Baik, terima kasih kepada Muhammad Asmi Ma'ruf yang telah memandu materi diskusi dan tanya jawab. Acara selanjutnya yaitu penyerahan sertifikat yang akan diwakilkan oleh Bu Retno kepada Bapak Prof. Dr. Muhammad Talib bin Latif. Kepada Bu Retno, kami persilahkan.
Ya. Baik, Assalamualaikum Prof.
Waalaikumsalam.
Ya, ini mewakili Bu Lilis dan juga Bu Aziza. Kebetulan Bu Aziza sedang ada dua zooming juga. Kemudian Bu Lilis kebetulan sedang melakukan sholat duhur. Di sini sudah masuk sholat duhur, Prof.
Ya, sama di sini pun.
Sudah masuk. Ya, ini kami memberikan sertifikat untuk Prof. Talib. Mohon diterima. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih, Prof. Ibu Retno. Terima kasih,
Prof.
Baik, terima kasih kepada Ibu Retno atas penyerahan sertifikatnya. Acara selanjutnya yaitu penutup dan pembacaan doa. Pembacaan doa akan dipimpin oleh rekan saya, Ahmed Ayatullah SKM. Kepada rekan saya, Ahmed Ayatullah SKM, kami persilahkan.
Baik, terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Mari kita tundukkan kepala sejenak seraya memohon ampun kepada Allah Subhanahu wa taala dan semoga apa yang kita lakukan hari ini diberkahi. Kita tutup kegiatan hari ini dengan hamdalah dan doa kafaratul majelis. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Amin.
Terima kasih kepada Ahmed Ayatullah SKM. Alhamdulillah kita telah sampai di penghujung acara. Kami sampaikan terima kasih kepada narasumber, moderator, serta semua peserta yang telah mengikuti ajang profesor ini mulai awal hingga akhir. Semoga ilmu yang didapat pada pagi hari ini dapat kita aplikasikan. Sebelum kami tutup, kepada panitia dan narasumber dimohon kesediaannya untuk sesi foto bersama sebagai dokumentasi acara. Dimohon untuk segera mengambil posisi untuk foto. Kepada rekan yang bertugas, saya persilahkan. Baik, saya mewakili panitia yang bertugas menyampaikan mohon maaf apabila ada kata-kata dan perbuatan yang salah atau kurang berkenan. Saya sebagai MC dan rekan saya pamit undur diri. Sampai jumpa di acara ajang profesor selanjutnya. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih, Prof.
Terima kasih, Prof. Talib. Mohon maaf.